Hey everybody. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Andrew. I am one of the adult leaders here at NYC, and I am excited to bring or start off at least the new series that we'll be going into for this month, which is the Golden Rule. And today's topic specifically will be over forgiveness, which on the surface seems like a relatively simple concept. Something we learn about since we're small that we're taught to forgive. But like in actual practice, it can be something that is very difficult. So, like with most things, I think the first place we should look on how to handle or how to tackle these type of um, concepts, we should look to scripture. So we're just gonna kind of dig right in. So the first verse that we kind of want to look at for reference, and this group of verses will probably be looked at again throughout the series, which is Matthew 5, 1 through 7, which reads, Now when Jesus saw the crowd, he went on a mountainside and sat down. His disciples came to him, and he began to teach them. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for there is no king, there is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the pure of heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of the righteousness of for righteousness, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Okay, so just for a bit of context, that is what is also referred to as the Beatitudes or the Sermon on the Mount. It is one of the first, if not the first, time Jesus is speaking to the masses. He has, healed some people, he has performed miracles, but this is kind of the first time that he is addressing like a large population. This is also the first time that he is kind of laying down the foundations of what we believe and the way that he has lived his life. So this is definitely a point of reference as believers that we should mirror these things. Um, so one of the major verses in this that specifically applies to forgiveness is verse 7, which I will go back to, which it says, Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. So, for those of you who don't know, let's, I guess, first start off with defining mercy. So, I went to Google and looked up what the actual Google definition of mercy is, which is compassion or forgiveness shown towards someone whom it is within one's power to punish or harm. I found this definition interesting because, again, we kind of know what forgiveness is to um, not hold a grudge or not hold a gripe against someone who has wronged you. But I think it's interesting that this definition, which again is just from Google, so this is like kind of the general understanding of what mercy is someone whom it is within your power to punish or harm. So it's almost like they deserve the punishment. You are well within your rights to want to um, do harm unto them, but instead you are showing mercy, you are showing forgiveness, and you are forgiving that person. And I think oftentimes it's easy for us to forgive someone who is seeking or trying to earn our forgiveness, which isn't really a part of the definition, and it's also not what Jesus speaks of. So I think it's important to differentiate like kind of what it actually means to forgive. Um, so I know for me, forgiveness is uh, kind of like a internal um, action. So like forgiveness is almost for your own peace. It is for you. It's not really for the other person. It's a way for you to not be burdened by those emotions, for you not to be weighed down by that negative feeling towards another human, whether they deserve it or not. It's also not forgetting or negating the pain that that person caused you. You definitely should acknowledge that pain and should definitely think you should acknowledge what has happened to you. And I think forgiveness is just a part of the healing process for you. Um, we are also called by God in multiple instances to show forgiveness because um, Christ did that for us. So, and we did not um, ask or earn or any of the things that sometimes we try to require other people to do to receive our forgiveness. And if we are called to be Christ-like, then we should move and respond the way that Jesus does. As I stated, there is many uh, references to forgiveness in the Old and the New Testament. You can think of like Joseph and um, and how he forgave his brothers, or even like in the New Testament, Luke 6:37 says, "Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven." And again, that's Luke 6:37. Also, Ephesians 4:32. Be kind and compassionate to one another. Forgive each other, just as Christ, God, forgave you. So, as we see, there's many instances where forgiveness is key. Forgiveness provides healing, I believe, and I think it is something that helps you grow in your faith if you're showing forgiveness and relying on God. I know when researching the topic, another point that was brought up was um, that God is just. And so if someone has wronged you, um, that a loose belief is that um, God will handle the situation, and we should trust God to handle our situations. I don't want it to come across as like a tit for tat, though. Like, oh, if someone wronged me, then God's gonna wrong them, but God will make the situation right, and whatever way He deems necessary. So there's just many reasons why forgiveness should be key. And I know in my life personally, there's been people who have wronged me, who have deeply hurt me, who have never ever showed remorse for their actions or sought out forgiveness or uh, reconciliation, which is a whole nother topic. You don't necessarily have to reconcile with someone to simply forgive them. Reconciliation is when you do come together to try to rebuild a broken um, situation. And forgiveness is a part of that. But forgiveness can be a singular experience. You can forgive someone and them not request it. And so for me, there's been a few times in my life where people have not sought out that forgiveness or requested it or showed any, like I said, any remorse for their actions. But for me and my own peace, I chose to forgive them for their actions. And again, that doesn't mean you forget or that it neglects the pain that you feel. It just means that you're no longer going to hold on to that. Um, and then, of course, move accordingly with whoever that person is. If you need to distance yourself from that person, if you can, or if you need to just provide some form of boundaries there so that that person doesn't continue to hurt you in that same way, I think it's important to do that as well. And that comes with discernment and prayer. So I definitely encourage you guys to, if you guys are holding on to anything or if you guys are struggling with forgiveness, definitely pray about it. Definitely give that to God because that's what we're called to do. There's amazing, you're surrounded by amazing students and leaders that are here to encourage and help you. So if it is something that you're struggling with, definitely come to us. We'll pray with you, and we'll kind of help you with the tools to, process that and get to a place of peace. Because I think that is essentially what forgiveness provides. So, yeah, that's what I have on forgiveness.